Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. First tonight, the tables have turned in the war on COVID-19. Tasmania's frontline health workers are being vaccinated nearly a year after they began the fight to save patients from the deadly virus. The first shot was given this morning, with another 1,000 expected to follow this week.
They're already hot shots at the job.
I actually didn't even feel it.
There you go.
Nurse Jen Ives battled coronavirus on her ward last year. Today, she was the first health worker to be vaccinated against it.
I got tapped on the shoulder, but feeling pretty privileged right now. Yeah, this is an amazing experience.
She's the first person to receive the vaccine, so it's pretty special. It's pretty amazing. Very privileged to be part of the program.
The smile's a testament to a moment few imagined would arrive so soon.
I don't think anyone would have predicted that we'd actually be here so quickly today in terms of a vaccine.
Roughly 20 staff are now hard at work inside the Pfizer hub at the Royal Hobart Hospital, turning the tie of one rolled sleeve at a time.
We'll probably hit over the 400 today, but we'll see how we go.
For the first 3 weeks through the state government campaign, we'll be delivering around 1,000 vaccinations a week.
The program will expand to the Launceston General and Northwest Regional Hospitals next month. Vaccinations have already begun at some aged care sites in the state. A massive advertising campaign is being prepared ahead of the broader rollout. But Jen Ives sums up the point pretty easily.
This is about keeping you and your family safe, including the wider community.
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
And the Commonwealth Government's vaccine rollout is also underway in Tasmania's aged care sector. But unions are concerned over a lack of communication with employees at facilities. Staff were originally meant to receive the jab alongside aged care residents, but they've now been told that's not the case.
A historic moment in this aged care home, as the first COVID vaccinations in Tasmania were administered yesterday in the northwest. But aged care workers say they've been left out of the loop.
We have huge concerns in relation to the federal government's rollout in aged care and disability services. And our number one concern is that workers do not know what's going on.
Workers were originally believed to be receiving their jabs this week.
Late last week, it was advised that staff within the aged care facilities wouldn't receive the vaccine.
And it's not clear when they will be eligible. Both unions have expressed their concerns to the state government, saying there is a lack of information coming from the federal level.
Better communication and certainly earlier communication for our members in the aged care and disability sectors would be very much welcomed.
As the rollout, we receive regular updates from the federal government in terms of what has occurred. The detail of the federal government rollout is obviously a matter for them.
Comes as data from the health union shows staff in the sector are considering other career paths.
83% of aged care workers have indicated that they're not going to remain in the industry for more than 5 years, and predominantly it is because of the lack of staffing.
They say short staffing has been detrimental to the care residents receive.
It's devastating. It's not a place that I want to be when I get old, and I'd hate to see some of my family members in the same boat.
Staff say their concerns are falling on deaf ears.
We're putting it in writing, which we were told to do, time after time, and then we were told to stop repeating ourselves. So you eventually give up.
In a statement, the Aged Care Services Minister says there is a requirement for organisations to have an effective and competent workforce. The final report from the Aged Care Royal Commission is due back this week. Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
Facebook's backflip is too late for one Tasmanian business, which has pulled its advertising in the wake of the news ban. Internet service provider Lontel says it will spend its money elsewhere after being caught up in the cull.
For 10 years, Lontel has been powering Tasmania's internet and reaching out to customers on Facebook until the plug was suddenly pulled out.
They could have so easily given us warning and asked us if we needed to contact them to say, no, we're not a news site, shouldn't be affected by this ban, but they didn't. They just put this big blunt instrument and just shut a whole lot of sites down, and we were one of them.
The shock and awe tactic has now left scorched earth, the business opting to divert its advertising spend.
We actually have a whole lot of advertising that we're planning to do, basically because NBN are putting out some extra discounts and things like that, and we're just not going to be doing that with Facebook.
The tech company was swept up in the flood of pages shut down last week. It's encouraging other businesses to reconsider their advertising spend too. The state government isn't jumping on board just yet.
As a government, there's times where we need to get information out to people, particularly in the context of COVID.
But for Lontel, Facebook's contempt has been convincing enough.
If we did that, half our customers would just, take off and leave.
Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmanian News.
A review into proposed voluntary assisted dying legislation in Tasmania has found the safeguards in the bill are among the most rigorous in the world. Sarah Courtney, who has carriage of the bill, says she's still working through the 114-page University of Tasmania report, which made a series of suggestions on the proposed laws.
Obviously, there will need to be a number of amendments, so it's my intention this week to put my head down and make sure that we can come up with the best possible legislation that is the safest for Tasmanians.
And we look forward to seeing the amendments that have been proposed and hope that they don't substantially alter the intent of the bill.
Debate will continue next Tuesday when Parliament returns. Tasmanian Upper House MP Ivan Dean has confirmed he won't recontest his seat of Windermere at the next election. The former police officer was elected to the Legislative Council in 2003. In a statement, the 75-year-old said he was looking forward to spending more time with family. He urged voters to back an independent when they go to the polls in May. The proposal for a cable car on Mount Wellington has been dealt another setback. The company behind the project took the Hobart City Council to the State's Planning Appeal Tribunal after the council requested more information over potential impacts on Aboriginal heritage. The appeal was rejected yesterday afternoon. The Mount Wellington Cableway company says it's disappointed but not deterred by the ruling. More social housing has been built for elderly Tasmanians as the state government struggles to bring the waiting list down. 25 units will soon open in the Hobart CBD, with residents expected to move in later next month.
So 25 more homes for Tasmanians who need them. We'll be delivering another 444 odd homes over the next 12 months right across the state.
This is a project that's going to support older Tasmanians in need, men and women over 50 who are experiencing homelessness or at risk of homelessness.
More than 3,500 people were waiting on Tasmania's housing register as of September last year. Experts will be brought into Hobart's northern suburbs under a $1 million plan to battle unemployment. Glenorchy City Council says establishing a jobs hub will help turn the tide.
Consistently over a number of years we've seen unemployment rates 3% higher than what the state average is in Glenorchy, and now with COVID-19 impacts that situation has got worse.
We're going to have coaches employed under the Jobs Hub who'll work one-on-one with our job seekers in our community. We're particularly thinking about youth, we're thinking about migrants, we're thinking about people with disabilities.
The state government says a similar program in Sorell has helped find work for 250 people. Launceston's ANZAC Day commemorations are set to go ahead this year, according to the sub-branch president. Graham Barnett says unless there are major changes with COVID, Launceston RSL will run the dawn service, morning service and parade as planned. Last week, Hobart cancelled its ANZAC Day march for a second year, with a dawn service and wreath-laying ceremony to go ahead on a smaller scale. Well, some things are as easy as riding a bike, but building one is a different story. That's why a program teaching these valuable skills to Tasmanian students is having huge success. The Tasmanian Bike Collective is providing hands-on training for students wanting a different type of classroom. And today, its newest workshop opened in Huonville.
Every twist and every thread
and pull the cable through
is a small lesson in the most hands-on of classrooms.
We are using the medium of bikes to mentor, to build skills, build confidence.
And build a product able to be purchased by the public. Today, students in Huonville could finally grab hold of their own bikes, learning the mechanics inside out.
I've learned names of all the parts and
how to put them back together.
The new workshop is a chain reaction to the hugely successful Risdon Vale Bike Collective. Turns out bikes can be the right tool for teaching when students struggle in the traditional classroom.
When you're working on a bike, you have a lot of little jobs along the way, and then at the end you end up with this bigger picture of a completed project.
Anthony Elder has seen its success, with one student going on to find work in the bike industry.
It's so nice to be able to take that step back and look at those stories and see a young person, especially over a journey of a few years, see them grow and develop.
And with a waiting list for students craving to come inside the Huonville expansion, expect similar stories down the track.
All the students that have participated so far have given me 2 thumbs up, which is, you don't get any higher than that.
Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmanian News.
Tasmanian musicians are preparing to hit the stage for a night of live music in Hobart next month. Big Band Under the Stars will be held at the Royal Tasmanian Botanical Gardens on March 6, with around a dozen artists coming together for a one-off COVID-safe show.
We have the beautiful big band, Matthew Ives and his big band, which are the stars of the show, and you don't get to see many big bands at night outdoors in a venue like this, which is just so unique and just so beautiful for us.
The event comes off the back of the success of last year's Carols in the Gardens.
2 Tasmanian Tigers players have been named in an extended Australian squad set to tour New Zealand. Nicola Carey has made the cut after some strong form in the WNCL, where she made a century and half-century in the first 2 games of the tournament. Bowler Belinda Vakawira has also been named in the 17-player squad. The series includes 3 T20 internationals from late March, followed by 3 ODIs. Hobart Cup champion WT remains the shortest odds to take out tomorrow's Launceston Cup. The Patrick Payne-trained gelding is paying $3.10 for the win, but its handicap may give the roughies the edge.
Fantastic, amazing run in Hobart. It won very well in Hobart, but I definitely wouldn't like to be running around with an extra 4.5 kilos around the track, mate, so it could pull it back to the field a fair bit, I'd say.
The finishing touches have been put on Mowbray Racecourse ahead of tomorrow's COVID-compliant event. Crowd limits mean the Tasmanian Turf Club is expecting around 1,000 fewer people at Cup Day than in previous years. Bar Raid and Runaway are also among the favourites for the $250,000 Cup race.
Good evening. Launceston and Cressy our top today with 21, Hobart and Burnie 19, Devonport a top of 20. A cool night last night, felt that too. Lyawini the low with -1. Overnight temperatures up to 10 below average, and today's remained well below as well. Friendly Beaches and Low Head 20, Flinders Island and St Helens 19, Bushy Park 18, King Island, Grove and Strawn 17, Lyawini a top of 12. Cumulus clouds scattered across the state today, just a light shower over the west and far south. Now that cooler air mass driven by the southwesterly airstream right over us, the frontal band is to the southwest, most of the mainland cloud free, apart from some convective cloud over the top end and the east coast. Tomorrow a high extends from south of WA to the Tasman Sea and up over central Australia as well. A trough persists over the mainland with lows to the north. There is a weak front to our southwest as well. Winds northwest to southwest at 10 to 20 knots, then west-northwesterly from midday and increasing to 20 to 30 knots, lighter breezes inland. Strong wind warning has been issued for waters between Southeast Cape and Low Rocky Point. Hobart, a top tomorrow of 22 and partly cloudy. Partly cloudy for Geeveston, 7 overnight, 21 the high, 19 the top for Bothwell. Launceston's Cup Day, perfect for racing, partly cloudy, bit of cloud cover, not too breezy and 21 degrees. 19 the top for Devonport, partly cloudy for Cressy and 21. Burnie expecting 19 and partly cloudy, a light shower for Strawn, 18 the top, 18 for Curry on King Island. St Helens, partly cloudy and 20. Sunny for Swansea, 20 the top and 21 for Orford. UV, that'll be at 8, just into the very high sector. On Thursday, a few showers over the west and far south, extending throughout in the afternoon and evening. Mainly fine on Friday, the winds back to the south-southwest and cooler. And on Saturday, fine with light winds and afternoon coastal sea breezes. 32 and sunny for Perth. Switch those numbers around to show Adelaide's temperature. Partly cloudy in Melbourne and Canberra tomorrow. The showers continue though up the east coast. Brisbane a high of 28. Cloudy in Hobart at 17, 19 right now in Launceston, Devonport currently sunny and 18 degrees. That's it for me, Kim. I'm off to study the form, but of course I'll be back later for the weather update.
And off to the Cup tomorrow, and I will hold the fort together.